gentlemen on the podium, ladies in the foyer. All right, gentlemen, the groom will be standing here. Stand there facing me. Best man. Next person. Probably have to give thought about who the partners might be. That's good. All right. Now, your heels on the first horizontal line. So come a little bit forward. That's it. And that makes you a nice straight line there. Ligo più do. That's it. Okay. So, what formal names am I using on the day?
Yorgo, Amalia.
Georgios and Amalia.
Yep.
Am I using English names as well?
Yeah.
George and Amy.
Yep.
So George and Amy is Georgios και Amalia
Yep.
in the Greek. Okay, it's good for me to know because I'll be switching languages.
Yep.
All right, so gentlemen, you'll all be turning up about half an hour before the start of the service.
Yep.
And you need to bring us all the gear that we need.
Yep.
Candles, Stefana, the tray and all the bits and pieces.
Yep.
Could I just grab the last two gentlemen, that table over there, just place it in the middle here. Thank you very much. So this table will be about here. Thank you. That's good. All right. And just bring all the stuff and place them on this table and my assistant will set that up.
Okay.
And that includes the rings as
Yep.
well. Okay. Now, then you can just sort of hang around and 5 minutes before time, this.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies will be arriving, I suppose, on time or somewhere near there.
Oh, I'm really on time, don't worry.
You're an on-time person. Fantastic.
Very on time, should be early. 3:20, doors are locked. No one else is coming in because I'm coming home.
Brilliant, brilliant. So, Amy, if you can just stand on the red carpet. Maiden or matron of honour.
I don't know one of those.
Leave a gap. Oh, there won't be one?
There isn't one, yeah.
Okay.
So everyone's equal. So,
No problem. Well, maybe are you perhaps matching up with partners?
Well, the sisters will go.
No partners, but I would like my sisters.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
so
see
whoever
sisters.
you feel should be next to you up there should be the next person here.
Hey, and then you're.
Sorry.
Yep.
All right, so you arrive and you will line up like this, single file.
Yep.
Your father will be here by your left.
Yep.
He will have his hand on his tummy and you will place your hand through there
Okay, yeah.
and rest it on his forearm, okay, like that. Now, ladies, what you'll do is you'll watch for me and I'll either be up there or I'll come down and just lead the procession just to make your life easier. So what you do is you look at the person in front of you and when they reach the first seat, that's when you start walking. Gentlemen, we're all facing the sanctuary at this point in time. So when you, will there be flower girls?
No.
Okay, even easier. When the person in front of you reaches the first pew, that's when you start walking. Well, that's a good question. How do you walk? How do you walk up the aisle? And there is a very simple answer. We want to make it a nice, dignified procession. And the way to do that is to remember not too fast, not too slow.
Yeah.
And the way that happens is you just kick forward like a gentle goose step, and that slows you down enough for you to be able to do a dignified walk or procession up the aisle. You'll be holding flowers, I imagine. Now, Amy, you might want to wait a little bit more. Yeah. That, because what that would mean is that the photographers get a clear shot of you walking up the aisle. You go this way. Your heels will be on the first horizontal line. Everyone's facing the east. Amy, you're going to be on that side, like that. Start walking slowly. George, at this stage I tap you on the elbow and you come down with me as Amy walks up, and we wait here. She'll be escorted by her father. When they get to this last seat here, you'll be shaking the hand of the father, and you know, whatever is comfortable with you guys. Do you want a hug? Do you want a kiss? Do you want a hug's good?
Hug of dad. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, you thought the two of you? No. No, we're talking about, so the father and the groom, there's a handshake and a hug.
Sure.
Is warm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will there be a veil?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to explain to your father that he will...
Oh, no, not over the face.
It won't be over the face.
Yeah.
It'll just be back there already, so we don't even have to worry about that. So then the last and probably the only thing we need to tell your father there is that a peck on the cheeks before moving off to his seat here.
Yep.
Okay? George, you will then do this move here. All right, and as you...
Oh, I'm grabbing.
And you'll take the elbow.
Yep.
You'll step up. Nice. Gentlemen, half a step that way.
Too close for comfort.
That's nice. Okay, now, line of symmetry in the church. See that cross, the rug, the carpet? So what we've got here is I need the gap between the two of you to be pretty much here, okay? So relax. That's important, to relax. The line of symmetry in the church is important because if you're not paying attention to it, you can end up drifting.
Sure.
A little bit that way, a little bit that way, and the photographers get frustrated with that. Yeah. They want to get a nice, clean, centered shot through the middle. And not that it's a big deal, but it's nice. We like to do things nicely. Okay. You will be about here.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Right. And this is why I suppose a walk-through or rehearsal is important, because people just don't know where to go, what to do, where to stand, just basics. Even how we stand, there are cultural sensitivities to take into consideration. So in nothing too dramatic, but in the Greek Orthodox culture, this is respectful. This is respectful in church. This is not respectful in church. So a lot of men, especially sporty men, seem to be comfortable like this. Don't do that. It sort of says, hey, I'm not focused. This is focus. Your attention or you're focused, right? In prayer, we're praying for the couple, okay, and all that is expressed with our body language as well. Okay, it's interesting that, George, you're getting married with Amy in a church dedicated to St. George. That's nice. The name or term George means the cultivator, and that is from a spiritual point of view. Someone who cultivates their soul, develops themselves and seeks to grow, constantly become better and better people spiritually. And we have that theme that we constantly emphasise in our church services at St. George. Okay, any questions thus far?
One question. Is it normal for you to kind of preface the no phones situation, because that's
Yep.
kind of important to me.
Yeah, that's
You know,
good.
we have
That's
amazing
quite common.
photographers
Yeah,
here today. We don't need that. Any photos after the ceremony.
that's correct.
Because I don't want like people sticking their arm out.
That's exactly what happens these days. So the question is, what do we do with phones where people might just take the leisure of pulling out their phones and doing all this, and that it spoils photography, it spoils videography.
In the moment as well.
And the moment, indeed. So it's becoming more and more common now that before you even arrive, when everyone's sort of waiting for you, the bride, to arrive, that a priest makes an announcement saying, together with everything else, please switch off phones and leave the photography to the professionals.
Love it. Yeah.
The other one's social media.
Oh, I'm not fussed on that one.
Some people are, some are not. I would be guided by you. To what extent we say, hey, don't worry about social media, leave that to the professionals as well. Some people don't want to be on social media. Yeah, but if it's okay with you, I don't even have to mention it. No problem. Okay. Next question is, how do we not faint in church? I think it's good. We need to talk about this.
Yeah, I have appointments like bridesmaids, so we need
It happens on hot days. We've never had a fainting here outside of summer, so that should give you some confidence. It's a summary type thing. Heat is a factor. People not eating in the morning or during the day is a factor. Also, people being statues. Don't be a statue, just relax, okay? Wriggle toes. Wriggle your toes. This is important. If you want to know how soldiers stay still for 1 hour when they're, guarding something, they're wriggling their toes. You don't want to be doing too much of this. That distracts people. Not that I'm stopping you from doing that. You can do that if you really want to. But wriggling toes is enough. It circulates the blood up to the brain, and you're able to just get by. If, however, worst case scenario, you do feel faint, don't say, she'll be right. Because no one's going to catch you. You want to, at the first sort of, okay, this is not good, something's not right. Hey, wriggle toes, okay, still not right, just walk off.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're here, gently, slowly, walk away, make your way to the front row and take a seat. Okay?
1 hour is the service.
Service is only half an hour to 40 minutes. But from arrival to departure, it's 1 hour.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's fine.
Okay, that's with fainting. Let's talk about the symbolic actions of the ceremony and their significance. And we'll use those as milestone moments that we're going to talk about this evening. So the first thing we want to do is the rings. Priest comes forward, says a prayer over your heads, and then you need to offer your right hands in this fashion. I place the rings on the tips of your right ring fingers, and who will be doing the duties? Your name is Stefanos? Konstantinos. Konstantinos, great name. You'll come forward, stand where I was, and you need to cross over your hands like this, take the rings off their fingers, cross them over 3 times, 1, 2, 3, back on the tips.
The coordination.
That's all right.
So how do you guys work on this?
Just every night.
Okay, how do you do that? Very good about practicing.
Yeah.
All right.
All you have to remember is always crossed, count 3. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, always crossed. And there's logic to it.
Yeah.
The logic is, look at this, George's ring will go on George's finger. See that?
Yeah.
And vice versa. If you're going to split your hands accidentally, it's going to start getting confusing. So do it one more time. Cross, take the rings off, cross them over 3 times. That's it. All right, back on, back to your place. Most Greek priests leave it at that. Here at Rose Bay, we like to have the bride and groom face each other to push the ring all the way in. All right, so you take your time doing that. One scenario is the ring is designed for the left hand, doesn't fit it on the right hand. Okay, just push it as far as it goes and relax. All right? So hands back by your sides and just relax. Will you have flowers, Amy?
Bouquet?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the first 5 minutes, it's fine, and then your arm starts hurting after the first 5 minutes. So you want to pass over your flowers. Now, we don't want 2 sets of arms hurting at this stage for you. What was your name?
Sarah.
Sarah. So what you want to do is place Amy's flowers on the table here. And that way you can continue just switching your hands. Right? And you're resting your arms. And where I would want Amy to have her flowers back, I would just very simply give them back. And there'll be a moment you will need to hand your flowers over to Kate, so that you can take up the dress and help us navigate around this table here. Okay. We've covered the rings. Joining of hands. So there's a moment in the ceremony where we join your hands. So priest comes forward and you need to bring your right hands together like a handshake. So join your hands together and relax. All right?
Cool.
All right. I don't know how people do it with their rehearsals. Because people don't know if they're going to have to hold their arm up there. Do we hold it up? Is it in the air? Okay. You need to be told, just relax.
Yeah.
Easy.
Why? Because you're going to hold your hands for about 20 minutes. A good test of your relationship. If you do get an itchy nose or for whatever reason you want to, I don't know, use your left hand. But you'll be right. We've never had a problem.
Okay.
Okay, put your hands together. That's it. Left hand rest by your side. Likewise. Okay. Next bit is the wreaths. So priest comes forward, says a prayer over your heads, and the wreaths are wreaths. And the priest crowns you. This moment is special because it's reminiscent of the ancient Olympic Games, where the prize for winning at the sport, whichever sport, was a wreath. Now it was a wreath of olive branch or in Greek daphne or laurel or bay leaves.
Yeah.
And so that was the symbol of achievement, the wreath. So in ancient Greek poetry, if you're talking about the wreath, which in Greek is stephanon, or hieras is prize, you spoke about, that meant that was a byword for achievement. Even though you may not have been into sport necessarily, but you spoke about the wreath as a symbol of achievement and victory. Now, a couple who have worked on their relationship for a number of years, have gone through ups and downs and have reached this point, it's an achievement, right? And so this moment is your Olympic Games moment. And it's important that we say this because if you weren't told this, you would just go through your wedding ceremony and, oh, well, okay, some hoodoo was done. Did I meant to say voodoo? Doesn't matter, because it's neither. It's symbolism, and if you didn't know what it meant, It would just pass. But now that you know what it means and what it symbolises, the moment it happens, it's, hey, they're recognising our achievement. It's a special moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, look, none of us are going to be at the Olympic Games anytime soon. This is the next best thing. I said that once at one rehearsal, and the groom says, I've been at the Olympics. I said, you represented Australia in shooting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's an Aussie guy marrying a Greek girl, and you know. So anyway, he was an exception. Everyone else, I can use that joke. Okay, so it's the Olympic Games moment for you. In the modern Olympics, of course, the prize is a gold medal, and second prize a silver medal, and third prize a bronze medal. In the ancient Olympic Games, it was only first prize. Okay, next thing is what we do after that. So the priest has placed the wreaths on your heads. I will give you an indication to just come one step forward. It allows Constantino to go behind, steer. And similar to before, you will cross your hands, take the wreaths off their heads, bring it down to your level, and cross them over 3 times. 1, 2, 3, back on. I will be here to adjust. You will go back to your place. This obviously represents togetherness, strength in unity. Very nice. And the fact that a representative of your family and friends participates in this indicates that your family and friends support this and are behind you, literally. So once that's done, one step back. Now in other churches, there might be more space behind the bride and groom, and that is not necessary. We're a bit short on space over here, and that's why we do that way. Any other questions thus far?
I think my mother-in-law has bought a Stefano.
Your mother-in-law has bought a set of Stefana?
Yeah.
Yes?
Do we bring that, or?
That will come with the groom half an hour before the ceremony.
So we do that with that, what she's purchased?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sure.
They're the ones.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So these days they're made by jewellers or
Yeah.
bonbonniere type shops, and they're quite porcelain sometimes,
Yeah.
just different designs. What are yours?
Pearl.
Pearl.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. Sometimes pearl can slip off, depends on your hairstyle.
Okay.
Do you think it'll be right?
It'll be fine.
Okay. Worst case scenario, they fall off. The first 2 people, just pick them up, put them back on. It's not a bad omen if they fall off. Okay. Next would be the Lord's Prayer. So there's a moment that we say the Lord's Prayer. And here we actually invite the people to join in. So most people roughly know the Lord's Prayer, but one thing I do say is, dear friends, join the bride and groom in saying the Lord's Prayer. It's nice. They know that they're praying with you at that moment. And it's a prayer that most Christians are taught to learn, so it's the one common denominator that we ask people to join in on. So having said join the bride and groom in saying the Lord's Prayer, do practice it.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd be guessing or, okay, what's the next bit? So give it a bit of a practice. There is a video that I've done of the Greek version of the Lord's Prayer. Tap right here. I suppose that might work in the video. And I do go English and Greek,
Sure.
whatever you're comfortable with. Both or just one, that's fine. That's the Lord's Prayer. Next bit is the Bible reading. So priest comes forward and reads a passage from the Bible, which relates Jesus being invited to a wedding 2,000 years ago. And does anyone remember what happened at this wedding? Why made it into the history books? Okay, very simply, they ran out of wine. which is not good, not good, okay? It's like a modern reception running out of drinks, okay? It's embarrassing, right? So the organisers of a reception, even in the modern day, would sort of say, this is not good. They would probably come up to the bride and groom and say, we've made a mistake here, we've run out of drinks. Really, really sorry. Similar story back then. So they would have gone up to the bride and groom. Jesus, as a teacher of the community, was a VIP of some sort. That's a very modern idea. But anyway, he was a very important person. And so somehow the apology gets to him too. It gets through to him via his mother, Mary. Okay? So they would have told Mary, and Mary goes to Jesus and says, they've run out of wine. And he answers in a human way and a divine way. A response that reflects his humanity and a response that reflects his divinity. So the humanity thing is, what's that got to do with me? The divine thing is, my hour has not yet come. Why would he say that? The answer is, she knew who he was. And she knew that he can fix problems. And we can see a bit of a child-parent dynamic going on, where the child, even though he was 30 at this stage, would be saying to Mum, maybe it's not the right time. He's still a bit shy. Okay. Hadn't done any miracles yet. Nevertheless, this was the moment that he did end up doing his first miracle. All the other miracles, he walked on water, he resurrected the dead, he gave sight to the blind, he calmed storms. His first miracle was at a wedding, changing water into wine. And people were like, where'd this come from? Interesting start to his miracles. Now, the reading between the lines that we do as Christians, and why we have this passage at every wedding, is that marriage, love, relationship is the beginning of a lot of miracles. Yeah? You change the mundane to special. The water represents the mundane and the wine is something special. The coming together of male and female perpetuates life. There's the miracle of life just there. That's a big one. And probably even arguably bigger than that is how do you get here in the first place? You need to transcend thyself. You have to go beyond living for me. I live for you. If you can do that, you are talking with love. If you can't speak in terms of the other and your life making sense only through the other, then you're still living a self-centered life and relationship is still not. See how all this makes it, comes together and is expressed through the scripture readings and the ceremony and the words and all the things that come together in what we would term a liturgical drama. Greek word drama, theatre, right? It's another language. That's why we have all sorts of forms of art in the Orthodox Church. So the icons, art, architecture, shapes, music, poetry, drama. Everything ceremonial is drama. You need to be taught how to read the drama, okay? That's why something like this is important, a walkthrough or a rehearsal. Okay, next. Bible is closed and is offered to you to kiss. That will happen 3 times in the ceremony. At the start of the ceremony, in the middle when we do the reading itself, and right at the end. If you didn't have a rehearsal or you didn't watch this video, what often ends up happening these days is a Bible in someone's face and they're like, what do I do? Okay. Next is the dance of life. What happens here is I come forward with the Bible I just mentioned. I take you guys by the hand and I lead you around in 3 circles. At this point in time, we will give Amy's or the bride's flowers back. You need to pass your flowers over and you need to collect the dress so that we can go around the table. For the sake of people watching the video, if the dress is long, that makes sense. Please collect the dress. If the dress is not long and it's only ankle height or is just a manageable length and doesn't need to be picked up to go around the table, do not pick anyone's dress up, please. So, as we walk past the kumbaro, so you will follow through regardless. So even if the dress is not long, you will follow behind. Costadino, there will be a ribbon hanging, slow down. There'll be a ribbon hanging between the wreaths that we mentioned earlier. You will take the tip of that ribbon and you will follow through. Not too close, not too far. If you fall far back, this is going to happen. Or you're going to pull off the...
There's some big ass going on.
You'll be right. The rest of you stand where you are. You are like guardians and sentinels of the couple. All right, so we walk around in a circle. They will be your first steps as husband and wife, which is special. Pretend we did that 3 times. The third circle has this maneuver here, so we start moving a bit faster, you guys, that way. All right, and you start letting go of dresses and ribbons and back to your place, and you guys go back to your place. Now watch that line of symmetry. That's good. Okay, so circle of life, dance of life.
Okay.
Nice?
Yeah.
Okay. Next is a prayer with my hand on your head for the groom and my hand on your head for the bride. This is nice. Every generation gets the hand on the head. And if you were to read the New Testament, the Christian part of the Bible, in the book of Acts, that's how every new generation of Christian was told, hey, it's okay. It's nice. Okay, so that's another good issue that arises. What happens when you have this need or desire to just laugh? It will happen when you're too serious, so don't be too serious. Feel just relaxed, and if it does come and or there's something you heard in the passage that sounds funny or conjured up some image in your head, do just laugh. Do just laugh, honestly. The more you just keep it in, the more it's going to be bad. Right? It's going to get worse. Right? So just relax and do what you have to do. Okay. And you don't want any of this business. Don't hold your nose either. Right? Okay. So the hand on the head. Every generation of Christian is told, hey, we're passing this on to you. Beliefs, tenets, and principles. It's passed down generation to generation. You're the next link in the chain, which is nice. Okay, and it speaks of the value of tradition and the value of heritage and the value of passing on tenets and beliefs. That's why we're still here 2,000 years down the track. All right, that's that. Finally, you get to kiss that Bible one last time, and the priest taps you on the hands with that Bible. That's a cue to let go. In other Christian traditions, it is said, and to death do you part. We believe the same thing, but we don't like talking about death in a wedding ceremony. So in the Greek culture, we're very dramatic. We like to graphically demonstrate it with a symbol, okay, without having to say it. So that sort of says only God will separate you at the point of death, right? But as I said, without using words. And only those who know the code can work that one out. All right, that is the ceremony itself. In our church, all the readings will probably be in English with a sprinkling of Greek chanting. Other churches might have a different mix, depending on the crowd. and the congregation. Now, we then have the priest give a sermon, a message for everyone, and then we sign paperwork here at this table. Other priests might have a table there, or they might take the couple into the office, just different ways of doing things. It's fine. Finally, there's a question of how you want the exit. Do you want people to congratulate you at the reception? Okay, so we'll just touch base about that again on the day. I might just ask George and you'll tell me, Father, we're getting them to congratulate us at the reception. So I will announce their exit while we're doing the paperwork, so that when you exit, everyone's already on the steps ready to receive you as you're exiting the church. In other scenarios, and I'll just run this through for other couples who might do it with this method, is to have everyone queue up and congratulate in the church with the thought that, well, so that we don't do it later. Get it over and done with. You want to balance that up. Okay, so most people go for a reception these days, where the couple can go from table to table and just meet and greet. Others don't want to do that, and they do the congratulations in the church. The way that looks is this. The groom stands where I was before. You face that way. The bride. We get the best man to congratulate first. You move over to the bride. Right. That's it. Right. Then you stand there. That's it. That's it. Then, so it's male and female thing. So you come forward and congratulate. And what we do is we create a line that everyone... So everyone's going to come up the middle and head straight for the groom, bride, and then the rest of you. Now, it is quite a large bridal party, so what I like to do here, and you're not doing this anyway, but for the benefit of everyone else watching the video, if it's a big bridal party, I just park the rest of the bridal party in that zone there, so that the people are only congratulating the groom and bride. Yep. Makes sense. If it's just a set of 3, then we can have them here. So I'll do that for everyone else's benefit anyway. So next male groomsman, and you move that way. That's it. And you just sort of greet each other, somewhat simple. Thank you, Kate. Yes. That's it. Now, different cultures kiss differently, which is interesting. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Aussie thing is just one kiss. Greeks do 2 on both cheeks. I think the Lebanese do 3. 1, 2, 3. Some Lebanese, yeah. I know that the Russians do 4. Wow. Okay, but anyway, it's whatever is easy, okay? Handshake, hug, whatever everyone's comfortable with. So if we imagine that there is a set of 3 in the bridal party, that's what it ends up looking like. But as you can see, there's way too many in this scenario, upon which if you were to say, hey, we want the congratulations here, I would just shift. You would also congratulate. There's no doubt about that. But I end up just parking everyone back there. Okay? Gentlemen? That's it. That's it. Okay, so this is now important, because how do you do the exit? And basically, the groom sets the example. You rest your hand on your belly. The bride, just park your hand on the forearm a bit further back. Yeah, look at that. Nice, much nicer. What do we have to teach people? You start walking forward, and everyone else matches up or pairs up accordingly. Sometimes there's an uneven amount of people, that's fine. So somehow we just work that out, and we exit. Everyone else should be on the steps by this stage. And upon reaching this foyer zone here, now all your people are going to be on the steps.
Yeah.
When you get to the top step, you kiss each other,
Oh, nice.
and then they get all happy, all the people get happy, and then you keep walking down to the landing over there. Everyone sort of gets happy and so on. The photographers normally take over at this point. Line yourselves up here, and the photographers will just set you up for a photo at this point.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no problem. Beautiful. Very good. Thank you, Father. All done?
Any other questions?
No.
You explained everything very well.
No.
We
very
covered
good.
all the ground we
Yeah.
needed to.
I'm feeling so less anxious now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So am I.
I feel like there's like a lot of bits. Now my mother-in-law has bought the candles with the. They bring that on the day as well.
Everything comes with George,
Okay,
yes.
cool. All right,
It's what
bring everything.
comes as a pack.
Cool. Pack. All right, I'll
The
send you
rings,
the pack.
the stefania, candles, everything I bring.
Cool.
on the
Am I
table.
missing anything?
If there is something we've missed, SMS me and we'll
Okay.
cover it.
Yeah. All right. No problem. All right. Fabulous. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, everyone.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.